Why is the Golan so important historically to the Jewish people? Well, we know that this area was known as the Bashan in the Bible. But later on, during the Second Temple period, during the Hashmonean period, after the story of Hanukkah, Jews began to settle here in the Golan in mass. One of the famous places was an area known as Gamla. Gamla is where the first battle in the Great Revolt took place between the Jewish rebels and the Empire of Rome. So here in the Golan, over 40 Jewish villages have been discovered thus far. There may be more. And some of these villages, 37 of them, almost all of them, had a synagogue located inside. And they had oil presses and vineyards and places to make wine. But one thing they all required was a living source of water. Look at the stones. This is basalt, volcanic rock. It is extremely hard to carve out cisterns, man-made caves, in order to trap rainwater, which is done in the limestone that is abundant throughout Israel. However, here in the Golan, very difficult to do that. People want to live near a stream or a spring. So here in Ain, which is Hebrew for a spring, kshatot, which is rainbows, and if you look at these beautiful arches, which by the way, these arches actually date back to the Roman period. The Romans built these arches in order to glorify the spring that was here. And in this spring, they bleached linen for fabrics that were sold all throughout Israel and to the aristocracy, making Ain Kshatot one of the wealthier neighborhoods, villages, communities here in the Golan. So let's now head over to the synagogue, which is absolutely unbelievable, and I guarantee you are going to love it. Let's go. This synagogue here in Ain Kshatot is one of the most remarkable ones in all of Israel. Dating back 1,500 years ago, it was discovered by Lawrence Oliphant in the 19th century. However, it laid in ruins for another 120 years. When researchers who came here found this pile of stones believed to be one of the ancient synagogues here in the Golan, and they scanned each stone and put it into a computer program that literally rebuilt the synagogue digitally. Then they took the digital blueprint, the actual stones, which they put tiny little microchips inside, and they reconstructed the synagogue so that we can explore it and learn from it today. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. This is literally maybe the most beautiful synagogue I've been into, ancient synagogue, here in the Golan Heights. The community that lived here must have used so much of their financial resources just to build it. I mean, this isn't simple stone to carve. As I mentioned before, this is basalt. Basalt is not easy to carve, and they made such intricate designs on the capitals, and most archaeologists believe that there was even a second story to this structure. And look over here. You have the original benches that surrounded the entire synagogue, so that when the community came together, everyone, or at least the elderly, would sit on the benches while the younger folks would sit on the floor. And what was the main purpose of the synagogue? Well, I have to remember, the temple was destroyed. Originally, when the temple stood, we prayed to God, but we didn't have like a set, organized type of prayer. Prayer as we know it today in the Jewish religion, when we go to synagogue and pray 3 times a day, was instituted as a replacement to the sacrifices we used to offer in the temple. Back in the day, sure, people came here to pray, but you came here in order to learn the words of the Torah. Come here, what we say Kriyas Torah in Hebrew, for reading the Torah and learning the wisdom that's been passed down from generation to generation since the days of Abraham, the days of the Exodus, and from the days of Mount Sinai, when we received that wisdom from God Almighty. Come, check it out over here. Let me just show you. Right down the center part here in the synagogue, you have maybe the most beautiful, what we say Arona Kodesh, the Holy Ark. This is where the Torah scroll would be housed until people would take it out to learn from right here. Look at the design on the floor. Can you see this design on the floor? This little circle here marks the exact center of the building. And this is where people would bring the Sefer Torah in order to read and to learn from. But it would be housed in a special closet. Even to this day, literally 1,500 years later, Jews around the world in their synagogues house the Torah scroll in a special ark known as the Arona Kodesh, the Holy Ark. And you come in here, beautiful arch, but the most intricate, beautiful, chiseled out decorations on the pillars here. And significantly, what you can see on this side over here as I wrap around is you have the menorah, the 7-branch menorah that stood in the temple in Jerusalem, both during the first temple and the second temple. And these are symbols of redemption, because even though the temple was destroyed, we long to be able to rebuild it just like we still do today. We may have the land of Israel in our control, Jerusalem's in our control, but we are still lacking our holy temple. And please God, may it be rebuilt in all of our days.
Well, before you leave, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, we would love to hear how the Lord is moving and touching your heart right now. So be sure to comment below and then share this video with someone you feel needs it just as much as you did.